Hello and welcome to week 4 of the Let's Play Olympics 2. Our game this week, Super Pokemon Kart, Green Shell version. Why Green Shell version? Because Scyther's an unlockable in this game and Scyther owns. But rather than play as Scyther, we'll be playing as the Spitfire Pokemon, Magmar, in Minimize mode, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're also taking on the Starmie Cup race. Let's roll. Our first track, the lovely Seafoam Islands. Sandy beaches, cool ocean breeze, a lot of Magikarps fluttering about using Splash. You don't want to hit any Magikarps because they might evolve into Gyarados, and that's very bad news. So let's talk a bit about the racers and why I chose to use Magmar. Now, this game can be likened to Super Nintendo Classic F-Zero. Sure, there are 8 racers as opposed to F-Zero's 4, but there are 4 distinct styles of racer in this game that each match up to a machine in F-Zero. Currently in 2nd and 3rd place, we have Charmander and Bulbasaur, who are like the Blue Falcon. They're good all-around guys. Great to use when you're just starting out and learning the tracks, but not the best. Then you have Jinx and Lickitung, who I think a lot of people are going to use this week. They have very fast acceleration, kind of like the Golden Fox, who's a favorite of mine in F-Zero, I'll add. But their other skills are not the best. They're not the best at handling. Then you have the 2 characters we're not allowed to use, Parasect and Squirtle. They have a very good handling, kind of like the Wild Goose, but their other abilities, not the best. And finally, characters that I don't think anyone else is going to use, maybe one other person, Magmar and Primeape. They take quite a while to get going, they have the slowest acceleration in the game, but the highest top speed, just like the Fire Stingray. Now the Fire Stingray, most people don't use, but advanced F-Zero players will use it once they get a hang of the tracks. Because if you can not hit any obstacles or anything and keep your speed going, you're gonna win. And we did win. So let's take on Mount Bruno, a muddy, rocky area where a lot of rock and ground type Pokemon like to play. But it's got a lot of tricky turns and other assorted traps. The one danger in Minimize mode is hitting other racers. Now, if you hit a racer when you're regular size, well, you'll just bounce off them and lose some speed. Not so here. If you hit a racer, you're going to be flattened because they'll use a stomp attack on you. And that's just total bad news because it makes you lose time and at least 2 or 3 other guys are going to pass you. And with Magmar, it's that much more difficult to get ahead because you have such slow acceleration. So you basically have to keep your speed going for the entire race and blast through. Oh, but getting stomped by the guys in the lead isn't the only problem. Eventually, midway through the race, you're going to start lapping people. As you see here, we're lapping Squirtle. You can still be stomped by a lapping opponent if you happen to run into them. And that'll cause you to lose speed, and you'll get past. Nothing's worse than getting stomped on lap 4 of 5 and struggling to get a decent place. Because if you don't rank over 4th, you rank out and lose a life. It's terrible. Parasect trying to use Spore there, but we're wily to his tricks, and we aren't going to get attacked by that. They're going to collect plenty of these coins, though. I think Meowth left a lot of coins here from a robbery they did with Team Rocket, and, well, they're ours for the taking. Even though Magmar would probably melt them down with his intense body heat being a fire Pokemon and all. I love Magmar's victory theme, though. It's probably the best in the game. Just makes me want to dance. Yeah! Get down with yourself. Track 3, Lake Lorelei. A frozen track where water and ice type Pokemon can frolic. Again, not really the best turf for Magmar. It's very slippery, it's very slidey. Magmar's good against ice Pokemon, though, but he's not so good on the ice. Your main obstacle here are these ice blocks. I don't know who's done it. A dugong or something has frozen a lot of the track and made these ice blocks, and you have to either break them, which will slow you down drastically, or avoid them. Thankfully, if you break them, well, they won't come back, so you can just sort of go through where you've been before and bypass all the ice blocks. Well, you can nick them, but that's okay too. Just be careful not to fall into the water, because Magmar will take double damage from that, you know, being a fire Pokemon and all. It's drastic. There are quite a lot of power-ups to collect, but I haven't really been using any. Because, well, Magmar don't really need to use power-ups unless he's losing, which he isn't. He's doing quite good. We're maintaining that top speed, after all. That's what you had to do with the Fire Stingray / Magmar. I'm not sure if using Primeape would be just as effective as using Magmar. But how can you not like Magmar compared to Primeape? Magmar's a real cool fire Pokemon. Primeape's a big fighting Pokemon. I was never much on fighting Pokemon. But fire Pokemon are pretty cool. Look at all the 7-year-olds who pick Charizard for their starter Pokemon. That's why a lot of people pick Charmander in this game. But now we're on a track where Magmar can flourish, sort of. Blaine's Castle. A fiery magma level. This level is also the hardest of the cup. I had to let everybody pass me there. In minimized mode, there is simply no way in hell you're going to pass those guys on such a small plane without getting flattened. I tried to use Shell Smash, but Lickitung countered with Stomp. And worse, my Shell Smash smashed me! Magmar hit himself in confusion. That's not good at all. I am in last place, and I need to work my way back to the top. But never underestimate a Magmar under pressure, because that's what a fire Pokemon loves best, is pressure. For some reason there are a lot of golems around now, and they're going to try to use an attack on us to crush us. I'm wily to their tricks. Of course, Magmar's tackle is not very effective against a golem, because it's a rock type, so we're going to have to improvise and use Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch, everyone countered with Minimize because they were afraid of the Thunder Punch. Don't underestimate Magmar's Thunder Punch. You bring in a water Pokemon and you think, I can wreck this Magmar, no problem. He'll Thunder Punch your face, and you will go down. You do not mess with Magmar, believe me. Have you seen the Pokemon anime? Magmar nearly threw a Pikachu into a vat of molten lava. Magmar is a boss. And I do kind of hope that other people do use Magmar in this run, but I'm doubting it. You're probably going to stick with Lickitung or Jinx, which is fair enough, I suppose. I mean, they're well-rounded and good. I can't fault you for that, because I do love the Golden Fox, and I loved the Golden Fox challenge of like a year and a half ago in the original Let's Play Olympics. The Golden Fox grew on me. That's right, Parasect. He missed his Stomp attack. I got lucky there, because it doesn't have perfect accuracy. If it did, it would have screwed me, but I managed to take first place. I had to work for it, but I managed to take it. So let's enjoy that victory music, Magmar. You're doing great. You're a great little Pokemon. I think we're ready to take on the Indigo Plateau for our final challenge, an attempt to win the race. And here we are, without further delay, the Indigo Circuit, the final race of the Starmie Cup. There are a lot of crazy turns here. But you'll see one of my strategies for using Magmar in Minimize mode is pulling over. If you go straight ahead in Minimize mode, you're just going to get flattened, just like that. And bad things are going to happen, and you're going to lose your spot. But if you pull over, you can let a couple of people pass you, then build up some speed, and pass them very quickly. Simple logic, really. Easy. Just use logic to defeat the Super Pokemon Kart, Green Shell Edition. Though I do wonder if anyone's going to play Red Shell Edition and use, like, Electabuzz or Scyther. You know, I'm not sure. Electabuzz was in the green version, wasn't he? Or was it Scyther? I'm not even sure anymore which one was which. But I do know that we got Victory Bell, and Victory Bell is really cool. He's the best. But not as good as Magmar, because Magmar can shoot a Fire Blast and wreck him. Charmander using Protect there to try and save himself from being hit by me, even though, you know, I'm in Minimize mode. He could counter with a Stomp attack very easily. Even though my evasion is up thanks to Minimize mode, but I digress. We're doing actually very well here, I think. We're winning the Indigo Circuit. Just 2 laps to go. Oh yeah, regarding Meowth's coins there. Every 10 you get will increase your speed. There are items here like a Payday attack that'll give you more of Meowth's coins. I'm surprised Team Rocket hasn't bombed the race yet, but then again, there's no Pikachu racing, so I guess they don't want to come after us. They don't want to capture a Magmar. They couldn't tame the wild beast anyway, but I've managed to get a handle of him. It helps when you're a beast in the shape of a man. You can just tame the wild beast within. And Charmander is really right behind me, super close. Don't you dare stomp me, Parasect. Take a little detour in the dirt to avoid him, because I don't want to try to pass him and have him veer suddenly. But that's that! We won every race in the Starmie Cup. That's perfect. We're the grand champion of the Starmie Cup. Magmar! Excellent work! You're great. I'm going to reward you with some Pokemon treats. They're great. We can flame grill them in the lavas of Cinnabar Island. That's great. That's a pretty big Magikarp. I don't know what a Magikarp's doing with a trophy. I mean, one pin missile attack and he's gone. Charmander and Bulbasaur seem to be happy, though. Well, we have time, so since we beat a cup, let's ratchet things up just a bit and try a more difficult cup. Of course, we're going to roll with Magmar in Minimize mode again, because why not? And this time we'll take on the Paris Cup. Simple. Except it's not really that simple, because we're racing in a different league. And different leagues are more difficult. Especially when you're using Magmar. He's a difficult character to master, and I don't have a complete hang of him yet, I'm sorry to say. But in the time we have left, we can show you what the higher leagues of play are like. I'm sure Jinx or Lickitung would probably be the better choice here, just to practice the higher leagues. And then when you get good with them, you switch to Magmar, or Primeape if you're like that. I mean, you can do that, and we can use Spore to increase our speed, put everyone to sleep for a brief moment, and just barrel through. Because as you know, Spore has a 100% success rate. That's a great attack. Excellent for getting a little lead, which we do kind of have here. Charmander is pulling out in front. The rankings are always the same when you're playing as Magmar. It's always Charmander, then Bulbasaur, then Jinx. And if you can take first, that's what the 4th rank will be. That's what the top 4 will be. It will be Magmar, Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Jinx. We can almost beat this guy, though. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Oh, no! I was paralyzed and I couldn't move. I managed to get a 4th place victory due to that unfortunate setback. But that's okay. It's fine. We don't have that much time left anyway. I just wanted to try a higher difficulty. We get a single point. It's alright. It's alright, Magmar. I still love you. You are still my favorite Fire-type Pokemon. Charizard can't even step on you. I don't care what happened in the anime. I don't care about Seismic Toss. You are still the bossest boss I know. Well, the Safari Zone is going to be our final track, and that'll be about it for this video. We've got a nice little shortcut here. It's fun to play on this on the lower difficulties. I've done quite a lot of practice with Magmar on them, but never really tried a higher difficulty before, and it's difficult. I know. Lickitung likes to use Stomp Attack quite a lot. And you simply had to be going at full speed to catch up because you're Magmar. And we're going to end on that.